Hello and welcome. We have gathered here today to ask Christopher here, who is also known as the Barbarian Lunatic, who has a YouTube channel and a podcast and is the author of by now roughly 29 books, a quite incredible and remarkable feat. What he also did is, in a matter of weeks, he developed roughly 500 pieces of art, which can be seen on Instagram. And there is a number of questions which I would like to ask him today, in which I think the audience would be interested in. I came to know Christopher on various occasions. I have sometimes seen him. He seems to be a quite remarkable fellow, and I wrote down these questions for you just to make sure. First of all, what's your name? The second question I would like to ask is, what are you doing? The third question that I would like to ask is, why are you doing this? The fourth question is, where do you get the ideas? And the fifth question is, when are you going to stop? Hello. Thank you for your kind words. You know, it's quite new to me to get a lot of attention. You know, I have been doing this for quite a while already. But to first answer your question, my name is Christopher Reusch, and I think that's already the first question. So the second question was, what are you doing? Well, that one's a little complex. I will try to keep this brief. What are you doing? I think the easiest way that I can describe this is I'm doing, yeah? Because to ask somebody what he's doing probably wouldn't mean, I cannot just say what I'm doing, because the point of what I'm doing is that I'm doing it, right? And I mean, I probably don't have to kid you. You know, I was thinking about cutting this video in a different way to give you the impression that I'm interviewing myself, but I'm doing that anyway, so why bother? So, you know, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And where do you get the ideas? And when are you going to stop? I mean, these are all kind of ridiculous questions. You know, what are you doing? When you're looking at my content, it's kind of obvious what I'm doing. Why are you doing this? Well, apparently, since you need to ask this question, why I'm doing this, you don't understand at all why I'm doing this. Well, I'm raising awareness because according to my perception, is that people are going mental and they have no idea what's going on, and they're just going nuts on the planet, and they're basically destroying everything, including themselves. So the reason why I'm doing this is because life started to get a little bit boring, because everybody's so ignorant, and so I had to find ways to communicate to the people of this world that there is something that I have to tell them. Yeah? That there is something that we need to change, and that there's something that you can do in order to find inner peace and freedom. And, right, where do you get the ideas? Well, I just have to open my eyes and look at the bullshit that's going on in the world, and then I have my ideas. Because to get back to the question, what are you doing? Well, I'm doing. And then the other question is, why are you doing this? Well, to raise awareness for a system that is lacking consciousness. Right? And that means that everybody just does stuff without being aware of the consequences of their actions. Yeah? And that means all kinds of things. Right? And it starts with climate change, right? Everybody's like, oh, climate change, the pole caps are melting. We need to have electric cars. And then I say, no, what we need is an understanding of how climate works and how everything is interconnected. Yeah? And that's already where you lose 50%, no, let's say 80% of your audience. What do you mean everything's interconnected? Well, I mean that if I chop down a tree, that may ultimately raise the climate, the temperatures, because, as I have already said, right, global warming is no product of carbon dioxide poisoning, right? Global warming is a symptom of the chopping down of forests. And this is just one example, right? Other questions such as why do we watch porn, right? Why do we eat so much? Why is there so much fear? Which is showing in people rushing to the supermarkets and buying heaps of toilet paper, right? Prioritizing certain comfort goods over the life in general on this planet, right? Wiping your ass with dead trees, basically. And then we're complaining about climate change. I mean, that makes no sense. So you see, there is like a lack of consciousness. And because that really bothers me, and it made me really angry for a long time, because if you consider Mother Earth as an actual mother, right, nature as an organism, and you see everybody just chopping it down and taking what they want, to uphold this kind of weird system that we've created, where we all the time like clap ourselves or pat ourselves on the shoulders saying, oh, we're so great, we're the best, humans, we're the best, right, we're on top. Yeah, because we killed everything else. I mean, it's not really a place where you should want to be, knowing that you've created a system of mass production, treating animals like, I don't know, like stumps of cigarette butts or something. I mean, what are we really proud of? That we can dissect frogs? That we can look for life in the universe? Whereas we don't manage to maintain life on this planet? So yeah, if you would go to most people and say a city is a desert, they wouldn't know what to do with this kind of information, because to them, what do you mean a city is a desert? Well, it's kind of like hot and dry. Whatever. I'm getting kind of sick of repeating myself over and over again. Because, I'm not the first one that's talking about this shit. Something needs to change. And that's why I'm doing this. Where do you get the ideas, right? I look at stuff, it makes me angry, and then I try to do something with that anger. That's what you call transformation, right? It's a basic principle of yoga. And transforming your anger is a part of rising above, right? Rising your energy level to your third eye. It's like from, I'm really angry and I need to fuck, right? So you rise until you're somewhere here and you say, oh, that's how it looks like. Well, humanity is kind of on the wrong track. So something needs to change. And when are you going to stop? Well, when I'm going to die. So I think that kind of covers it. And right, every time I sit down here and I record another video, the only reason I do that is because, I have to interview myself. Because people still don't get it. I've been doing this for quite some time now, and people don't seem to get the message. So I'm trying to present what I'm doing in all kinds of ways, so that people will start listening. And I cannot make it any clearer than this, right? There's something I have to say, but, I'm done telling people random stuff. I think we're at the point now where people have to start asking me questions so that I can answer them, right? And for that, people would have to pull their heads out of their asses, right? And learn a little bit of what's the word? Right? To humble themselves, to ask questions to people who seem to have understood something in life. Yeah, and I'm suggesting that I am one of these people. So, unless you want to figure that out, I don't think I really have a lot to say to you anymore. Because I've said it already. And that's about it. Like, seriously, guys, like, how slow can you be?